Good evening, and welcome to another, whatever my channel's called this week, video, Tweedy, something or other. Not particularly Tweedy today because it is hot. It's about 32 degrees, and I've just got the train down to what is probably one of my favourite stations. Not because the station itself is any great work of architectural merit, but it's Hassocks in the South Downs, and it really is in the South Downs. And yet from my nearest station in London, this is something like an hour and 20 minutes when the connections work best, which is great. And you get that lovely view of the South Downs as you're approaching Hassocks, and it's probably only a mile or so away from the South Downs way, but it's a pretty steep climb to get up onto the South Downs from here, so it does take a while to connect with it, and but it's a glorious walk. 200 meter climb, probably going to be hard work in this hot weather. We'll see how I get on. I'm heading out of Hassocks now, following the road. Maybe on the way back I'll take you the nicer way, by which time it will probably be dark. You won't get to appreciate it, but look up there, hopefully it's a bit more than a tiny thin strip. You can see the South Downs looking a bit parched and yellow, as you might expect after the hot summer we've had so far. Yes, following the road. This is Lodge Lane, which takes me nicely to Underhill Lane, which always sounds like something out of Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I should say what the plan is for this evening. There's a new vineyard called Everflyht, has just opened south of Ditchling. Ditchling's got a cluster of English sparkling wine vineyards. The one that you may have heard of is Ridgeview, that's just to the north. It was one of the very early ones around not long after Night Timber kicked the whole thing off. Everflyht just recently started selling their very first releases. I think they're 2019 vintages that just went on sale in the last couple of weeks, so I can hopefully sit somewhere up on Ditchling Beacon or thereabouts, looking down on the vineyard and having some of that wine whilst overlooking the place where it was grown, the place where the grapes were grown, and hopefully also catch a nice sunset. The sky's fairly clear today. I seem to have slightly underestimated the provision of shade on this particular path, and as such this terrible sartorial faux pas has been committed. I already got a bit of a burnt neck in Dorset last week, so I'm trying to keep that covered up today, and the sun is just shining directly at the back of my neck. There you go, isn't that majestic? It's nice to see that thanks to all the tree cover there, a fair amount of it is still fairly green, even though the bits in the middle are going decidedly brown, greeny brown. Well, it's definitely hot. Apologies if I look a bit sweaty and horrible. Can't be helped. Imagine what it would be like being a sheep in this weather. How's it for you ladies? Yeah, a bit warm, isn't it? And not much shade on this stretch of the country lane. This is Underhill Lane now, but it is such a lovely lovely road, lovely lane. Lives up to its name. There's a hill up there, here's a lane, and this is under that hill. This lane is under that hill. Pretty straightforward. You know where you are with a lane called Underhill Lane. Oh, I seem to have walked straight past the footpath that turns in, where you get a bit of a glimpse of Everflyht. But never mind, hopefully we'll see it from up the top of the hill. Steep climb ahead. Expect short bursts of huffing and puffing from now on. Sometimes feels like I really go out of my way to find these overgrown paths. Maybe that's just a symptom of it being summer. Sorry for the huffing and puffing. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Had to stop for a break here in the Ditchling Beacon Nature Reserve. The path is really hard work. I mean, it is at least shady, but it's, you know, 32 degrees or whatever. I can't cope with that kind of heat. First glimpses of a view already there. I guess I'm going to be losing my lovely shade in a moment. So the next bit of the climb, a bit hotter. Just head out really slowly, I guess. So yeah, now it's a bit grueling. No shade. And is it me or is it getting steeper? Okay, I've given myself a minute or two to try and catch my breath. This is a good spot to stop for a moment because you get a great view of the what I like to call the South Ditchling Appellation, the little cluster of vineyards to the south of Ditchling. So Ditchling is kind of over here. Ridgeview and Court Garden are further to the north. I'm probably pointing the wrong place. The screen on this thing's so tiny it's hard to see, but hopefully you can see there's sort of actually 3 vineyards and a little cluster there. The one closest to us, maybe I need to put some graphics on this to highlight them. See if I can do that. The one closest to us there is the newer part of Black Dog Hill, I believe. I'm not sure if that's yet producing grapes. I think it was only planted a couple of years ago. It's the sort of extension to Black Dog Hill. And over to the right, I'm probably pointing the wrong place, can't see the screen, is the original site, I think, of Black Dog Hill. Slightly further back, it kind of almost joins on to the main site of Black Dog Hill. Sorry if the tractor noise there is getting in the way, it's a bit windy. Towards the back is one of Plumpton College's 2 vineyards. They use both for teaching and they actually produce wine. I'm not sure if that one's in production at the moment right now because it was replanted around 2018, so not sure if that's quite yet up to speed. And then I probably can't point at this. I'll try and put some sort of graphics on afterwards. I'm not great at that, but over there, which I should have just taken a short detour to walk past, is Everflyht. So, you know, if you count the 2 separate Black Dog Hill vineyards separately, there's 4 vineyards in this little cluster of land here, and 2 more a bit further away, the other side of Ditchling, all nestled under the nestled under the foot of Ditchling Beacon. That doesn't quite make sense. Nestled under Ditchling Beacon, the South Downs. So hopefully I'm now somewhat near the top, having had a little break to blabber for a while there and catch my breath. I can hopefully now make it to the top. Well, there we go. There is the trig point atop Ditchling Beacon, where I'm not really encouraged to dwell for very long because there's a whole bunch of flying ants and a wasp there, possibly having a bit of a battle. Now, don't know what time it is. Is it 7 something? 7:30. So I am going to try find a nice spot to sit down for about an hour before sunset, which is great. I can crack open my ESW and eat a sausage roll. Great. So there we go. It's the ice bucket. I have ridiculously lugged up 200 meters, so I could sit here and have some Everflyht overlooking the vineyard, which is down there. Everflyht, this is their rosé 2019. Alright, it's going to be a lively one. It has been shaken up a bit coming up the hill. Not too bad. Oh, glass in here somewhere. There we go. Glass could be cleaner. I thought I washed these at home. Never mind. As Peter Hall says, it's only fizzy grape juice. It's got this really bold colour to it. It's Rosé de Saignée. That looks nice in the sunlight up there. So cheers. Here's to Everflyht. Congrats on your first release. I think this has got a lot of guts and body to it. Oh, it's good. And particularly here on the South Downs, looking, excuse me, down there at Everflyht, drinking Everflyht, partly surrounded by a cloud of flies. Can't have everything. Absolutely fantastic. Cheers. I'm exactly like Bear Grylls, really. I think the two of us are almost interchangeable. The ice bucket, the ESW, watching the sunset. Could barely tell the two of us apart. Thought this might be a good opportunity while I'm just sitting here without anything else to do, particularly to say hi to some of my favourite YouTube channels. Yeah, I'd like to start with Giles Binion. If you know his channel, you know he's into natural camping. That doesn't mean naturism. He's really keen on avoiding kind of modern synthetic fabrics, which presents him with a lot of challenges, and I have a lot of sympathy with that. Although obviously I ended up using sadly plastic here and there, but you know, being a lover of tweed today, flannel trousers, a lot of sympathy for wanting to avoid plastic tat. Very entertaining chap. I like his dry sense of humour, and really enjoy his videos. Someone else I'd like to say hi to is Richard from 4SB, 4 Seasons Backpacking. I think I've actually drawn quite a lot of inspiration from Richard. I suspect he has a shared interest. Well, I know he has a shared interest in megaliths, Neolithic things. So I often see places like Avebury featuring in his videos. He's walked a lot of the same trails that I've walked, which is great because he usually gets there first, so I can go watch his videos and get a preview of what it's going to be like. The Ridgeway, the Wessex Ridgeway, places like that. And he has a drone and creates some absolutely amazing drone footage that I suspect is a huge amount of effort. You know, he'll find a spot to camp overnight so that he's up at first light and has some, you know, amazing dawn footage of the Cerne Abbas giant and places like that. So if you're not already watching 4SB, highly recommend that. Beautiful footage. Show you the sunset. You probably got bored of just looking at me the whole time. Be nice to say hi to Dan, Camp Life Bushcraft. That's one of the very first YouTube channels I started watching, I think, or seriously, you know, watching. Prior to that, I thought YouTube was all about cat videos and that baby monkey riding backwards on a pig. Not that there's anything wrong with those things, but I think Dan from Camp Life Bushcraft was probably one of the very first channels I found when I started to think, oh, I'd like to give camping a go again and do more stuff outdoors. 2-3 years back now. But yeah, really enjoyed Dan's videos. Like the sense of humour, like the ones where he's just sitting around with his friends getting drunk. They're great too. Yeah, great guy, great videos. Tonight's dinner is a sausage roll, but it's always sort of grapefruity beer, isn't it? Whenever you see people doing outdoorsy stuff on YouTube, they've taken a beer along, and it's almost always American style craft beer, isn't it? Which to me all tastes of grapefruit. I don't know how well it comes out on the GoPro, but sun's looking delightful now with human eyes, which is of course what you would ultimately be using to watch the video, of course, but you know, there's been some tech in between. Another favourite outdoorsy YouTube channel I'd like to say hi to is Richard Outdoors, who I think has a fantastically dry sense of humour. There's one of his videos where he's in his workshop, I forget what he's making now, and he closes a door or opens a door and you just get this very brief glimpse of a dartboard. Behind it is a picture of Simon, a bloke in the woods, who I'm sure is a very good friend of Richard Outdoors, but it's just like 5 frames and it's not, you know, no attention is drawn to it. It's just there. If you know, you know. Love that Richard Outdoors, beautifully shot videos, but also great sort of northern sense of humour. So that's another one I would recommend subscribing to if you're not already. One more, Liam Brown. I don't know, I think of all the channels I've mentioned, maybe his is by far the biggest. I forget how many subscribers he has now. He's obviously going places, and you know, and fair play to him. I really like his series recently he did on national parks. Did a wild camp in all 15 UK national parks, and particularly I like that he ate some kind of regional food and drank a regional drink as well in each of the different ones, which meant you know, a nice change from my standard bugbear of why do all at least UK based outdoorsy YouTubers always drink sort of American style grapefruity beer. Oh, sun's looking pretty nice now. Sun has definitely set. Still a bit of light. Well, cheers. Definitely seems like time to head off. Ride off into the sunset, walk off into the sunset anyway. I think I'm going to walk back to Hassocks the way I came. Glass of wine in hand. You know, as I said, indistinguishable from Bear Grylls. Okay, I think in hindsight that was probably a good decision to walk down the same way I came, because I had that recent memory of what the path was like, and it is a bit dark now, as you can see. Can you see me? I don't know, maybe. So I'm now back on Underhill Lane. Well, made it back to Hassocks. Anyway, I will say adieu now. I hope this adventure hasn't been too boring and or random. Just shinning up Ditchling Beacon and drinking some English sparkling and shinning back down again. I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was a spectacular spot, and I'll see you on the next one.